Tevin Campbell's truth? What he may finally reveal. About Quincy Jones, Prince, and the dark side of the industry. For decades, Tevin Campbell has been a name etched into the hearts of R&B lovers. With a voice as smooth as silk and a youthful charm that defined an era, he rose to stardom quickly under the wings of legendary figures like Quincy Jones and Prince. But as time passed, fans were left wondering why such a prodigious talent seemed to fade into the shadows. Why did Tevin Campbell's career come to an abrupt halt just when it should have soared? And more importantly, what secrets has he been holding on to all these years? Now, with the passing of Quincy Jones and the growing cultural shift toward transparency and accountability, whispers suggest that Tevin is finally ready to speak his truth, a truth that could shake the foundations of the music industry. The rise and quiet fall of Tevin Campbell. Tevin Campbell was introduced to the world as a bright-eyed teen prodigy. Bursting onto the scene in the late 80s and early 90s, he quickly became known for his angelic voice and boyish good looks. He worked closely with Quincy Jones, who helped introduce him to the industry, and his debut album, Tevin, went platinum. With hits like Can We Talk and I'm Ready, it seemed like Tevin was destined for superstardom. But something changed. The momentum slowed, the music stopped, and his presence in the public eye diminished. Tevin later revealed that he didn't start truly understanding what had happened to him, emotionally and spiritually, until he stepped away from the business. It was work. I didn't have time to process any of that, he admitted. Yeah, I knew my sexuality, but I didn't think of the representation that I didn't see in the business. He came out to his friends and family at 19 or 20, but professionally, he stayed quiet. And maybe that's because, as many now speculate, the business wasn't a safe space for truth, or for someone who refused to play the game behind closed doors. Whispers of blacklisting and alleged exploitation. Over the years, rumors have circulated that Tevin Campbell was quietly blacklisted. At the height of his success, he was abruptly sidelined. While some chalked it up to the changing tides of R&B, others have long believed that something more sinister was at play. The finger has often been pointed at none other than Quincy Jones, the legendary music mogul who played a critical role in Tevin's early career. According to whispers, Tevin may have been one of several young male artists allegedly groomed or taken advantage of within an exploitative system shielded by Hollywood power. Though these claims were always speculative, the rumors resurfaced with force in 2018 after Quincy's bombshell interview with Vulture. In it, he made shocking claims about everyone from the Beatles to Marlon Brando, alleging that Brando had slept with men like Richard Pryor and James Baldwin. The interview drew immediate backlash and attention. People began to question, why was Quincy calling others out when there were long-standing rumors about his own alleged misdeeds? Social media exploded with people pointing to his past with Tevin Campbell, suggesting that Q had his own skeletons in the closet. Tevin's response: denial or fear. At the time, Tevin tweeted in response to the online chatter, "Now I'm trending. Folks will really say some disgusting things. Tevin was Quincy, GTFO with the devil. God is pushing the bad in our face to make us fight back." It was a denial, but it didn't silence the speculation. Some argued that Tevin was too afraid to speak the truth due to the potential repercussions, especially when dealing with someone as powerful and revered as Quincy Jones. But now that Q has passed, the door may finally be open for Tevin to speak freely. According to sources close to the matter, Tevin is allegedly preparing to reveal the dark side of his time in the industry and the powerful figures who failed to protect him. The Prince connection, another layer of rumors. As if the Quincy rumors weren't disturbing enough, another icon's name keeps surfacing in Tevin's story. Prince. According to longtime industry whispers, Prince may have also had a complicated relationship with Tevin, potentially turning him out at a young age. Tevin once spoke about recording the Prince-produced track Break It Down. He recalled how his mother unexpectedly showed up at the studio and was deeply disturbed by the song's lyrics. But Prince, with his characteristic charm, allegedly reassured her it would be okay. And she left. That incident, though subtle, raised questions about the kind of artistic and personal influence Prince may have had over a young and impressionable Tevin. If these rumors are true, Tevin wasn't just navigating the shark-infested waters of the music business. He was also contending with the inappropriate attentions of the very men who were supposed to mentor and protect him. The politics of music controlled sound and silenced voices. Tevin once said, "The music industry is politics. It's very political." People don't realize that. Everything you hear on the radio, it's all political. This insight underscores the idea that success in the music world isn't just about talent, it's about compliance, allegiance, and often silence. Tevin's decision to step away from the industry, despite his immense talent, may speak volumes. He said he was very pleased to be free from Warner Brothers and the entire machine. He did some sporadic recording from 2000 to 2004, but nothing stuck. Because, as he admitted, my heart wasn't in it. Maybe that's because his heart had been broken long before. More voices, more accusations. The rumors don't stop with Tevin. Others have come forward over the years with their own disturbing accounts related to Quincy Jones. Comedian Johnny Mac claimed on Foxhole Radio that Quincy once asked him to go into a room alone with him during a party. He refused to elaborate further, suggesting discomfort. Professor Griff of Public Enemy has also accused Quincy of being involved in Hollywood exploitation rings. He claimed that Quincy had support from major players like Warner Brothers to establish media and social connections that enabled this dark system. Even Tupac Shakur's name has entered the conversation. According to Griff, Tupac once said that Quincy tried to hook up with him, and when he refused, he was allegedly marked for death. While that may sound outlandish, others believe there is truth in the narrative, especially since Tupac was engaged to Quincy's daughter, Kidada Jones, at the time of his death. Pac had previously criticized Quincy's interracial relationships and called him out publicly, leading to tension with Quincy's daughters. Ironically, it was this tension that led to Tupac meeting Kidada and beginning their whirlwind romance. Pac was reportedly planning to sign with Quincy's label before his untimely death, a claim that R&B singer Keisha Cole supported during a 2020 interview with Fat Joe. However, this claim was later challenged by Suge Knight and Danny Boy, who argued that Keisha was far too young to have had those conversations with Pac. The industry's rotten core? The swirling rumors about Tevin Campbell, Quincy Jones, Prince, and Tupac suggest a far deeper rot in the music industry. For decades, young artists, especially young black male artists, have allegedly been subject to exploitation, manipulation, and systemic silencing. Whether it was through promises of fame, coercion, or flat-out abuse, many were trapped in a system that treated them as commodities rather than humans. Tevin Campbell's disappearance from the spotlight may be one of the most glaring examples of what happens when a rising star refuses to participate in the game, or when they are left broken by it. And now, with Quincy Jones gone, Tevin may finally feel safe enough to speak. If he does, his revelations could not only vindicate the countless whispers that have haunted him for decades, but also force a painful reckoning in the music industry. What happens next? If Tevin Campbell chooses to come forward with details about what really happened between him and the powerful men who shaped his early career, it could lead to a wave of long overdue accountability. It could also validate the stories of other artists who were silenced or sidelined after experiencing similar treatment. At the same time, such revelations could tarnish the legacies of men like Quincy Jones and Prince, icons who are currently remembered more for their musical genius than the troubling allegations that have followed them. But perhaps, more importantly, Tevin's story could be a wake-up call for the industry, a chance to finally confront the ways in which it has failed its most vulnerable members. Final thoughts. Whether or not Tevin Campbell decides to break his silence, one thing is clear. His story is emblematic of a much larger systemic problem within the entertainment world, a problem where talent was often nurtured and destroyed by the same hands, where silence was rewarded and truth punished, where boys became stars and then were left to burn out quietly. Now, as the world waits, the question remains, is Tevin ready to speak his truth, and is the industry ready to hear it?